You're stuck at home in quarantine. It's 5 o'clock. Why not have a drink with me?
Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is doing good on this Wednesday of quarantine. Today is halfway through my spring break. It's also day 40 of stay at home, which feels like a milestone of some kind. Hard to say what percentage through we are, but here we are at 40 days. Me and Helen in the house for 40 days. Hi, Helen. Not much to report today. Good day. Cleaned the house a little bit. And am excited to unwind a little bit before I start making dinner with tonight's cocktail, which is the Hemingway Daiquiri. Last week we made a classic daiquiri, which is a very simple cocktail. We talked about the 8-4-3 proportions that we like, with just a nice white rum, lime juice, and some simple syrup. Shake it up, strain it out, and it is a delicious, just the right level of sweetness, good lime flavor, just like a really nice, simple cocktail that features each of the ingredients. And today we're going to make what's probably the most famous variation on the daiquiri, which is known as the Hemingway Daiquiri. We have Ben joining. Hello, Ben. So, it's unclear how many of this variation Ernest Hemingway actually was drinking. So here's what we do know. Ernest Hemingway lived in Key West and would often hop on down to Havana, spent a lot of time in Cuba. Ernest Hemingway liked to drink. He would drink a lot. Ernest Hemingway would drink a lot at La Floridita bar in Havana. These are the things that we know. La Floridita bar is known for their daiquiris, and at some point they created this version of the daiquiri. Early on it was known and published in La Floridita's cocktail book as daiquiri number 4. And it is said, the legend is, that Ernest Hemingway loved drinking them. He said he would have them because he liked things less sweet and stronger, which takes away a little bit of the sweetness and really focuses on the rum a little bit by replacing the simple syrup with the maraschino liquor. And he'd often want the bartender to make it bigger. He said, make it a double. And so it sometimes also became known as, when you double the recipe, as a papa doble, for doubling the recipe, Ernest Hemingway being known in Cuba at the time as El Papa. So, like I said, we're going to replace the sweetener that we use in the normal daiquiri with the maraschino liquor, and we're also going to be adding to the lime juice with some grapefruit juice. Now, I still have one of these beautiful white grapefruits that I picked up about a week and a half ago. Grapefruits usually last a while, so I think it's okay. It still feels pretty firm, so I think it's going to be good, but once we open it up, we'll see. So we're going to be using lime juice and grapefruit juice. We're still going to be using just your nice light unaged rum. I'm going to be, to make it Cuba authentic, going to be using the Havana Club Cuban rum that we have. And as I've said in the past, a nice backup if you're looking for something that you can actually get in the United States is the Flor de Caña, this Nicaraguan rum, which is super nice, super cheap, and really good. And I think I have enough of this for today, but if I didn't, I would have no qualms using that second rum. So let's start just by doing a little bit of juicing. And I realize I don't have a glass to build this in, so let me just grab myself a pint glass that I can shake with. And actually, since I saw Megan is in the chat, today I'm going to be using to shake this pint glass that Megan got me 1,000,000 years ago from Moosewood in Ithaca, New York. Thank you for this thoughtful gift, Megan. Megan was one of my early vegetarian influences. in high school and college. Wasn't a vegetarian in high school, was for about 3.5 years starting in college. And I remember a couple of trips that Megan and I went into New York City and went to some crazy vegetarian restaurants that were really good and a lot of fun. I think one of them, I have this memory of one of them when you went to the bathroom, and a lot of restaurants like to have creative ways to signify the men's and the women's room. And I believe it was one of the restaurants that Megan and I went to that had one door that was just labeled with a cabbage and another door that was labeled with maybe a cucumber. Megan, correct me if my memory serves me wrong, but it required some interpretation, and I think they were single-sex bathrooms there, or single-occupant bathrooms anyway, so if you got it wrong, you're not going to be embarrassing yourself too much. Alright, so I'm going to do what I've done in the past, which is always think about my end goal and the garnish in mind. I'm going to be garnishing this with a lime wheel. So before I juice this lime, I'm just going to cut a nice lime wheel from the center. And now with the other half, I can juice my limes. I'm going to need 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. So I'm going to juice 2 limes, and that should give me a little bit more than I need. And if I'm short, I still have plenty of limes from Costco. One of the reasons I wanted to do this cocktail this evening is because I have this grapefruit that I want to use before it goes bad, and then also because I have all these limes. So what's a good drink that features limes and grapefruit? I thought it's immediately of the Hemingway Daiquiri. Let's see, Megan says that sounds about right. We've got Amy Tobin in the chat. Hello, cousin. Good to see you, Amy. Thanks for joining us. Amy made, I saw on her Instagram, a beautiful spicy margarita the other night that looked just delightful. Apparently she has some secret hookup from a bartender friend that had some ghost pepper infused tequila. And I didn't know this about Amy, that she was a fan of the spicy margs, but much respect to that cocktail. It looked great. Saw a picture. She had a nice sugar rim on it. And it's a beautiful way to celebrate the week. So shout out to Amy. Good to see you. And then I'm also going to need to extract. I think my plan is I'm going to cut this grapefruit in half. And then I'll save half of it for breakfast tomorrow because it's delicious. And then the other half I will juice. I don't need a ton of it. I just need half an ounce. Yeah, half an ounce of the grapefruit juice. Looks beautiful, smells good. One little section up here that looks like a little soft, so I'll just work around that, but otherwise I think we're in good shape. Again, it's beautiful white grapefruit. It's a little bit less sweet than the ruby red, a little bit more tart. If you're looking for it in your local grocery store, the PLU that you're looking for is 3157, 3158, or 3159. That is how you will know that you are purchasing a white grapefruit, which isn't the most common grapefruit, and so you want to be sure that you are getting what you expect. All right, I never quite know. So I have my big juicer, but I don't need a lot of it. So I think I'm just going to quarter this and then throw it in my little hand juicer. And like I said, I need half an ounce. Whoa, this is juicy, baby. All right, so let me see if I can actually just measure it right into my jigger, making a little bit of a mess. Okay, this wasn't the best idea, but I'm committed. Whoa, that grapefruit sprayed all over the place. Oh my god. Oh my god, grapefruit juice everywhere. It smells great, but I got my half an ounce, and the whole kitchen smells like grapefruit now. But that's a good smell. I like a good grapefruit smell. But I get a little stressed out when things are untidy. So let me grab a towel over here and just give this a little wipe down. So I'm coming around. Helen has these, they're essentially like reusable paper towels. So it's like a thick cloth that you can use for the kitchen and then like wash it and stuff and reuse it, and it's nice. Good for the environment. I think it's compostable too, so when it gets all ratty and you're done with it, you can get rid of it. But we've had it for months, and it's held up really well. So recommend for that product. Thanks, Helen, for always thinking of the environment, pushing us to compost more. Our compost deliveries are currently on hold because of the, not deliveries, pickups are on hold because of the pandemic. We had a service where we like have a bucket, we put our compost in it, every 2 weeks they come and pick it up and give us a new empty bucket, but they haven't been doing pickups. So we've still been putting some aside and bagging it up. Unclear what's gonna happen with that, but Helen got these like compost bags that you fill up and tie it up, and the bag's compostable. So I don't know, we're storing all this compost. Hopefully when they're back in business and come to pick it up, they'll take some extra overflow compost from us. But anyway, back to our Hemingway Daiquiri. So I've got the 1/2 ounce of our grapefruit juice. Now I'm going to take 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. And let's take some rum. So once again, shout out to my great friend Tara for bringing me this Havana Club rum back from Cuba. These 2 ounces of the Havana Club Cuban rum for this Cuban variation on the daiquiri, the Hemingway Daiquiri. All right. Same thing in New York City, no compost pickups. I know. Pickups, or I've seen Aileen, right? I think you, there's like compost drop-off sites too, right? Are they all closed? I mean, I know you're not in the city anymore, but my guess is that just the compost industry is on pause for now, which is a shame, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so we've got our rum, we've got our grapefruit juice, we've got our lime juice. Now we need our sweetener, and again, because Hemingway wanted things less sweet and more boozy, he replaced the simple syrup with the maraschino liqueur, and we're going to use 1/2 ounce of this in our drink. And that's it. So now I'm going to shake it up, and we'll take it from there. Let me grab some ice from the freezer. Excellent. All closed from May 4th through July. Whoo boy. That is a shame on the compost front. Okay. Let's give it a shake. Now, one option you always have at this point in your drink making, before you commit to finalizing the drink, is to give it a little taste. And I think a lot of times when you are using different citrus and fruits that might have varying levels of sweetness or tartness to them, it's tough going in to know exactly what the right proportion of the recipes that you are going to want or need. So I'm just going to, and a lot of times at like fancy bars, you'll see the bartender give a little taste of your drink, just to make sure that it's made just right. That's nice. One thing I could do at this point, if I wanted to sweeten it up a little bit, is add a tiny bit of simple syrup. Kind of like when you're cooking and you season to taste at the end and you give it a little taste, like, oh, it needs salt, it needs pepper, it needs some vinegar on top. Same thing with cocktails, but I think we are A-okay right now with this. I'm gonna grab my fine mesh strainer. So I have my cocktails to be nice and neat. And we're gonna pour it in. Nice job here. And we will garnish with our lime wheel on top. And we have the Hemingway Daiquiri. And now for the reason we're doing all of this, let's unwind with a drink. Cheers. That's good. This is another drink where if you aren't on board with the maraschino liqueur, you're probably not going to like it because it has that real sort of I don't know. There's like a dry, sharp flavor that comes from the maraschino liqueur that once you grow to like it, it's quite nice, but it took me a little bit to get fully on board with it. It's good, pretty tart, not very sweet at all, not as limey as your standard daiquiri. As it's evened out by the grapefruit juice. And I think too, like if you were using a ruby red grapefruit juice, it would be a little bit sweeter and maybe a little punchier, but this white grapefruit is just as like tart and a little mellow. It's really nice. This is great. Okay. Well, for dinner tonight, I'm making a Vietnamese beef stew in the Instant Pot. Excited about that. And I'm going to get to work on that while I finish sipping on my Hemingway Daiquiri. But thank you for having a drink with me this evening. Hope you're all doing well. Amy asked, does Helen drink all of the drinks you make? Helen, yes. So, I'm always asking Helen, like, oh, do you want me to make two? Do you want to share mine? Do you want something else that isn't mine? And try to be a good husband in that way by providing her with whatever cocktails. So when I make two, here today, she's the one getting the second one, but otherwise, always willing to help her out with a cocktail, because, you know, we all need a cocktail these days.
It's 5 o'clock. Why not have a drink with me?
Cheers, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.